I've kind of tried to stay away from making videos about the Arizona relocation stuff for the past year, mostly because it's been pretty confusing to figure out what could or could not be happening with this team and when, but it seems like we're going to get some kind of conclusion or at least some answers coming up here, and it's really heating up. This morning, Frank Saravalli reported that there were basically two scenarios for the Coyotes franchise going forward. There's that auction on June 27th, and either the Coyotes are going to stay in Arizona and basically grind it out until that new arena, most likely in Phoenix, is ready in about the fall of 2027, and the other situation is them moving to Salt Lake City. And this morning on the Jeff Merrick show, Elliot Friedman mentioned that if it is Utah, I think we're going to know soon, might even be sooner than people thought. Then the official Arizona Coyotes Twitter page posted a tweet accompanied with a video saying that they are committed to keeping Coyotes hockey in the desert and building an arena in Phoenix. Not even 2 hours after that tweet, we got a bombshell report that the NHL and the Coyotes are preparing for a possibility of a move to Utah as soon as April 18th. Just over a week away. Now, a few extremely interesting tidbits from the Sportsnet and ESPN articles reporting on this. While several sources warned to be careful about making any absolute proclamations because there's a lot that needs to be done, this whole situation is apparently a major priority and a lot is being done to get it to the finish line. Now, if this is to be done, Ryan Smith, who is the face of the management group trying to bring a team to Utah, he will supposedly pay $1.2 billion to purchase the Coyotes franchise from Alex Morello. Now, get this is kind of wild. Those same sources are stating that Morello could be offered a 5-year exclusive window to, quote, bring back the Coyotes as an expansion franchise, which honestly isn't surprising. I mean, Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the US. I certainly wouldn't be surprised if the NHL circles back to them if they get their arena stuff sorted in 3, 4, 5 years. But for right now, it seems like this possible relocation is really being sped up because of two things. First, the NHL's skepticism about the Coyotes' newest plan to build an arena in Phoenix, which would obviously include Morello winning the land auction in June, and the possibility of the Coyotes playing 3 more full seasons at the Mullet in waiting for that arena to be built. I think that scares the NHL. Also, there's no direct correlation here, but it's kind of wild how on this day in 2011, the Thrashers played their final NHL game, and today we get this bombshell report. The Coyotes' final game of the season is next Wednesday against Edmonton at home. With all this stuff coming out today, you've got to wonder now if that's going to be their last game in Arizona. Also, imagine being a player for this team right now with all this up in the air. Apparently, the players have possibly been informed of a quote-unquote verbal agreement in place to relocate to Salt Lake City, but Saravalli mentioned that there's been some pushback on that. I don't think they're completely in the dark, or at least I hope not for them and their family's sake. I'd like to think that they're much more in the loop than us in the public and the media, but this is a huge development, although it's very important to be clear that a deal is not done. Things are really heating up here, but it's not 100% complete. I feel like that's important to mention because a lot of people are already dancing on the grave of the Coyotes. Me personally, you guys know where I'm at. I'd love to see a team in Houston and in Quebec City, but if Salt Lake City does end up getting this team, I'm interested to see how it works over there. I mean, I've heard whispers throughout the year that, hey, the league really doesn't want to keep the Coyotes at the Mullet Arena for too long. We could be seeing a relocation sooner rather than later, but if this were to happen as early as next season, that's wild. Oh boy, the comments on this one are going to be really interesting. I'll be down there reading them. Give me your thoughts on this. And if the team does move, what do you think the name in Utah, Salt Lake City is going to be? If this does end up happening, somebody's going to be right. My guess is the Utah Yeti. If you want more update videos on this situation, like the video. I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome.